There is one thing that all great leaders have in common. It's not a great Twitter feed. It's not some characteristic or behavior. It's not how many books they read. It's not how much money they make. It's not even really what they do with their team necessarily. The one thing that all great leaders have in common is, and we're going to get to that. But first, I need to go over what I call the zones of leadership. Zone 1, Zone 2, Zone 3, for all of this to make sense and for you to agree with me what I think defines every single great leader, what all great leaders have in common. Zone 1 leadership is leadership of yourself. It's becoming a better person, it's becoming a better leader, reading books, understanding things about yourself, how you interact with other people, how you interact with your team. It's consuming all of the videos on this YouTube channel. It's subscribing to this channel and watching all the videos. Zone 2 is how you interact with your team. So it's directly the relationship between you and your team and how you all operate together. It's what you do when you're talking about weekly meetings, setting expectations for your team, semi-annual evaluations. It's you interacting with your team. And Zone 3 is really where the rubber meets the road, because that's where that is further afield, right? So it's outside of just you, it's outside of just your team. It is the competitive space that your team is operating in. And so it is assessing the competition, it's figuring out what success looks like for your team based on what the competitive landscape looks like. And so the number one characteristic that all great leaders have is that they win. They are successful. And so what I really want to tell you today is, it's not enough for you to be a great leader, to be a great person, although you need to do that. That's Zone 1 stuff. It's not enough for you as a great leader to be amazing at mentoring and developing the talent on your team, although you must also do that. Really what it is, it's results. At the end of the day, you can do all these other things perfectly, but if your team isn't winning and you're not achieving success and you're not out-competing the other people or entities in the space that you're operating in, then you're really not a great leader. I'm building a community on YouTube about how to become better leaders. If that's something that you're interested in, subscribe to this channel, like this video, leave a comment down below. Let's create a community together where we can become better leaders. And the end goal for all of this is that I'm going to develop a leadership plan that will be available to everybody, that anybody can use in their work right now, whether you're a new leader or a more seasoned leader. And it will give you insights and a roadmap for what you need to do to become a better leader. So if we decide that the number one thing that all great leaders have in common is that they win and that they're successful, they can push their teams to outperform other teams, then there's got to be some caveats to this, right? Well, I do believe that there are. One thing that's very important is to look at what the leader has done over time. It's very possible, and this happens all the time, that the leader is successful for a short period of time because he or she is doing something coercive. They are using some kind of technique that is short-circuiting the system and is ultimately untrue, or what I'm trying to say is you can get short-term gains as a leader by doing stuff that's wrong. So you could be using your charisma to try and get people to believe something that's not right. You could be threatening your team. You could be driving your team too hard, and you could be utilizing up the resources that you have, especially the human resources, too quickly, burning out those individuals. And so you will achieve success initially, but it will be a flash in the pan. People will start leaving. So I think in order to decide whether someone is a great leader, whether you are a great leader, you need to look at your performance over time. So it's not just quarterly results, it's what you've done over the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years as a leader. That's really important. I think the other thing that defines great leaders in terms of their success is whether that success that they've achieved has benefited society, benefited their employees, benefited the world in general. And so if the answer to that question is no, in what ways have they hurt society or their employees or the world in general? And if that's true, then I would say that they're not a great leader. So there can be a dark side to leadership, just like Darth Vader. I mean, you might say Darth Vader's a great leader, right? He gets results, people respect him, he gets the job done, but ultimately he is creating an empire of fear and tyranny, right? So that for me would not be good leadership. I wouldn't consider Darth Vader to be a good leader just because he might be successful within his own parameters. Okay, that's a short video. It's after the workday and I need to go walk my dog. So I'm gonna sign off. I will see you guys in the next one.